let's twizzle.
Weeknights, do the twizzle with me.
Everybody, starting doing the twizzle. Everybody, if you're ready to sizzle, you twist a little and you twist a lot. And when you really get hot, that's the twizzle. Twizzle, twizzle.
Weeknights starting at 9/8 Central on MeTV.
On the program today, Brett Hedrick of Hedrick Chevrolet. We're going to be talking about the Central California Auto Show. It's a big event Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Convention Center here in Fresno. You'll want to call in and chip in your opinion about what's going on this weekend. It's a big event, 559-265-4331. A lot of ground to cover today because this weekend it's a big event. It's the Central California Auto Show that takes place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Convention Center, and it starts in the morning at 10 o'clock each day. And there's a big event on Thursday. We'll get into that. And the benefit goes to Children's Hospital. All the proceeds go to Children's Hospital of Central California. We'll talk about that with Brett Hedrick in just a moment. But first, let's get to the video because we've got 18 dealerships in the Central Valley involved in this Central California Auto Show. It's a huge event. It's a big event. And there is some video from last year or the year before. It's a great event that starts at 10 in the morning, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and goes until 7 p.m., except on Sunday it closes at 5. You've got all sorts of dealerships there. You've got Chevrolet. They'll have the Camaro convertible. They'll have the Silverado. On the Ford side, you'll look at Focus, Fiesta, Fusion, Explorer, and the F-150. And you know what? There's a kids zone. Bring the kids along. Bring the grandkids along. You know why? There's plenty to do. They'll have the fun zone on Saturday and Sunday at the auto show. They'll have a Meet the Discovery Center's animal ambassadors, including cool snakes, lizards, and bugs, all of my favorites. And you can have the kids sit in the cars. You can put them behind the wheel, act like they're actually driving. 18 dealerships in all around the Central Valley involved. Toyota of Clovis, Clausen Honda, I should say, of Clovis, Nissan of Clovis, Fresno Lincoln, Future Ford, Weber BMW, and Hedrick Chevrolet. Live in our studio right now is Brett Hedrick. He is the owner of Hedrick Chevrolet. He's going to take your phone calls to talk about the auto show that takes place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Convention Center. Our number here is 559-265-4331. Also, the charity event, the big charity event on Thursday night that takes place at the Convention Center, and all the proceeds, as I mentioned, go to Children's Hospital of Central California, a great place and a must-have place here in the Central Valley. We're back with Brett Hedrick and your phone calls in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the low-price leading brands reliable advice place. The Whirlpool Dream Kitchen Get Yours Today place. Check this out. Right now, get huge savings on select Whirlpool appliances and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
Oh my, we have barely started and the lines are already lit up here at Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno. Glad to welcome in Brett Hedrick again. Hey, good to see you.
Thanks, John.
I'm excited about this show.
Oh, so am I.
Yeah.
So am I. This is our 8th show.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
That video was very impressive. From last year or the year before? I don't
Last
recall.
year, yeah.
Last year at the Convention Center.
Yes.
Well, you know what? We got a phone call, so we might as well take it right off the bat. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Brett Hedrick. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you. I'm fine. I would like to ask your guest, pose a question. It seems like everyone I know hates the new car shopping experience, and it's always been like that. I'm 50 years old. It's been like that since I was old enough to drive. it seems like it's the consumer's job to get the cheapest price they can, and it's the dealer's job to get the most money they can. Will that ever change? Thank you.
That's a great question, actually.
I love that question. I think that it is. I think our industry is trending with all of the information that's available on the internet or wherever you are, as far as being an informed shopper. I think those old days of the,
Pesky salesman.
yeah, or
I think those days are kind of gone, aren't they?
You got to realize it's still sales, so they don't make any money unless they sell you a car. So that as long as that's going to be here, and then we have that industry, because sales is all over, insurance, no matter what you are. But I think the more informed you are when you're shopping, I think first of all, if you shop and you select the right vehicle,
right,
for yourself, and then you do your shopping as far as which dealership you want to purchase it at, the other stuff should fall into place pretty easy.
Right. And I've been car shopping, not all that often, but, I've never really run into a situation where I was really irritated with the salespeople, because they're trying to make a living too, and you're trying to find the best deal for a car. And I think, in this day and age of the internet, it's easy to go online and browse to see what you want and then go in and talk to the people.
Well, of course, it is the information age. So
it really is.
There's lots of information out there. You can, and especially now, the way you can communicate. We've sold vehicles by email, we've sold vehicles by text, we've sold vehicles by, so it's just you have to move with your society.
I do want to talk about this car show, but let's take one more phone call. We'll have plenty of time to do that. Good morning. You're on with Brett Hedrick. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I was just actually calling Mr. Hedrick to see if the Volt is going to be on.
Yes, the Volt will be there. I'm actually driving one now, so yes, they will be available at the show.
How do you like the Volt?
I love it. I really do. I'm kind of that kind of driver that likes to watch and make sure that I do everything I can not to use any kind of gas. So I'm real particular about when I'm charging it. And so far, to me, I think it's been fantastic. I'm at 92 miles per gallon for over 3,000 miles. So
good deal.
What kind of price is that car right now?
They go anywhere from the high 30s to the low 40s. And then there are some federal and state rebates that come off of that. It kind of puts your net price in the high 30 range.
No, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. I want to turn you around, Brett. Let's take to the videotape right now. I believe we're going to take a look at some Lincolns. I know that's not your line of car, but we are going to talk about that because they are going to be on display at the auto show. Look at all the kids there. They can get in the car. They can get behind the wheel. They can act like, I did that when I was a kid. I got behind my dad's Chevrolet and acted like I was driving down Highway 99. It's a great experience, isn't it?
It is. And it's, what the best part is, and going back to the first caller, is that it's a non-sales experience. You can actually shop all the makes, all the models, compare side by side, look at fuel mileage, look at pricing. You can do all of that in a non-sales environment.
What does that mean, a non-sales environment?
There are no salespeople there. There are product specialists there that are hired from the manufacturers.
Okay.
But there's no salespeople there.
Okay.
Okay. No one's going to be discussing that. It's a non-sales show. The other thing that's important is it's free. This year there is no admission. It's free admission.
Right. And you're in charge of the show, right?
I'm actually on the committee for the show, but I'm actually in charge of the auto show preview. The preview charity event.
All right. I mentioned on Thursday night there is this charity event that proceeds. They benefit Children's Hospital Central California.
Yes.
Talk about that a little
bit.
Yeah,
this is brand new this year. We felt that there was a way that we could give back to the community, organizing an event that actually where all the proceeds go to Children's Hospital. We partnered with Educational Employees Credit Union, and they are a major sponsor of this. And so what happens is there's a $50 donation
to get in,
and it goes directly to Children's Hospital. You're actually on the
all
website.
All of it, 100%.
You're actually on the website of Children's Hospital, giving them the money.
Okay.
Yes, and it's Thursday night. Starts at 6:30. We have wine, beer, and hors d'oeuvres, and you'll actually get to see the auto show. It'll be the grand opening of the auto show. We'll actually do the with the dignitaries and opening the show.
How many people do you expect to come to that event, roughly speaking?
I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess 200 by the time we get all the tickets in. So
Okay.
you're not going to be fighting a big crowd.
That's a pretty good deal for
but it's
Children's Hospital,
yeah,
too.
you know, and that's a good chunk of change for the Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
It's actually being directed to their emergency wing, so that funds are going directly for that.
Much needed, because all of us who have kids, we've been there once, twice, maybe more than that, to the emergency room, and a good deal.
I have a special shout out to a little friend that had a major surgery yesterday. So
Okay.
we're wishing the best for Seth.
All right.
FresnoClovisCarDealers.com to get their tickets.
Okay, let's turn to the videotape again. The hybrid Mustang, again, not your line of car.
It's okay.
But
It's an auto
it's
show
okay.
I'm talking about.
Yes, I know. But I want to take a look at the. We're going to take a look at some hybrids and the Mustang as well.
Volt.
That's the Volt right there. That's the one you're driving.
Yeah, and then this is typical with the product specialist talking about the vehicle on the spinning table, just like they have in Los Angeles or Detroit.
Right. Now, we were talking earlier about cars across the country and in the Central Valley. Where are the cars in terms of the makes of cars, in terms of sales across the country and here in the Central Valley? What's number one? Is it Chevrolet? Is it Ford? Is it Nissan?
No, actually, Toyota has the most market share here.
Okay.
Of all the makes. So
In the Central Valley?
Central Valley, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Toyota, Chevy, Ford, and Honda are the top four.
All right, and there I believe we're looking at a Mustang in
Yeah,
black
isn't
with an
that
orange
great?
tie.
Customized.
Yeah, beautiful car with the orange rims there, you can see. And a lot of people showing up last year. And last year people had to pay to get in, right?
Right. This is the first year that we're offering free admission.
Why is that?
I think it was time for us to just kind of step things up, and I think our co-sponsor Motor Trend has decided that it's more important to sell out the space and have more vehicles offered than to charge admission.
All right, we're talking with Brett Hedrick of Hedrick Chevrolet in Clovis. 18 car dealerships will be on hand this weekend at the Convention Center. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it all gets underway at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're back with more of Brett and your phone calls in one momento.
You tell me who I am.
They called you West.
Jim West.
Mr. West.
West!
Well, my name is James West.
A truly great man.
Brilliant.
Secret Service agent,
What's next? Come on, I'm waiting.
man of action. He's James West
Where's Jim West?
on the Wild Wild West. Weekdays at 4, 3 Central on MeTV.
I want to mention this again because there's so many car dealerships involved here. No salespeople on hand this weekend at the Convention Center, as Brett Hedrick mentioned. But you've got Toyota of Clovis, Clausen Honda, Nissan of Clovis, Fresno Lincoln, Future Ford, Honda North, Mercedes-Benz, Weber BMW, and Hedrick Chevrolet, and much more. You can go to the event, check out the cars for yourself if you are in the market for a new car, but there won't be any salespeople there to pressure anybody to buy a vehicle, whether you want to or not. You can just go look. It's free admission. What better deal can you get than that? And really the whole idea is to give people an idea of what is to come in the next year in terms of cars.
Correct. It's basically called the 2013 Model Year Show. So usually this time of year in the fall and early before winter is that the new models all come out. And so basically you get to see it all at once. And it's really not only those dealerships. There's a lot more dealerships that are participating because it's actually a manufacturer show. So it's all the Chevrolet dealerships, all the Toyota dealerships in the whole Central Valley.
All up and down the valley.
Yeah. It
It's
could go all the
amazing.
way, all the way up to Madera, Merced.
Yeah. Atwater, that area there. Yeah. So let me ask you a question that's kind of off topic here. We'll get into the video again because we have more videos to show. But will cars ever become more affordable like they were years ago? I know some of the cars are very pricey. They get up there $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Will it ever come down?
I think that that's going to be based on what the consumers do. Consumers want more safety. They want better technology.
Comfort.
They want more comfort. They want more efficiency.
Yes.
So all of those things doesn't mean that, and new styling. So you have to totally reinvent this car every 3 to 5 years, and use new technology and new styling and all of that. Well, you can't just make a Model A and sell it for 30 years and recoup and be able to bring the price down because you don't have to retool the plant.
Understood.
You know, so
Yeah.
so I think that it's as long as that consumer is driving that, you know, those expectations up, I think the manufacturers, you know, they have to stay up with
So
that.
you're saying consumer demands really drive the price?
They drive the price. They drive what kind of cars that are made.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all consumer driven. If let's face it, if the customer doesn't buy it or isn't interested in it, why are they making it?
Right. Like the Corvair. Remember the Corvair?
Yes, I
All right.
do.
What if there is a consumer outcry for the Corvair to come back? We want the Corvair. Would the Corvair come back?
In some form or another, probably. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny because that the technology is so bizarre back then compared to now. I mean, they could call it a Corvair.
That was
but
a
doesn't
rear
make
engine
it
car, wasn't it?
It was a rear engine
Oh, my
car. It
gosh.
was way before its time. And just, you know, it's one of those cars that the market that even knows about the Corvair is probably so small. It's got to be older than us, John.
I'm sorry I brought that up. Anyway, another piece of video. Let's turn to the monitor here and go to the videotape again and the car show. And, you know, from your standpoint, from the Chevrolet standpoint, what kind of vehicles will we see besides the Camaro, which is the convertible that'll be on display?
You will actually see all kinds of vehicles. Pretty much all of Chevy's lineup will be there.
Everything, huh?
Yeah, everything. And, you know, the other cool thing we haven't talked about is we do have a ride and drive.
No, what's that?
Chevy, they're outside the convention center.
Okay.
People will be able to go and experience about 4 different vehicles, and including the Can-Am Spyder. That's
Okay.
that 3-wheel motorcycle with the 2 wheels in the front. So you can drive those. You can actually drive several Ford models. You can drive several Chevy models, and then we have exotic cars there too.
Yeah. The Chevy Volt. Let me ask you something now about these hybrid cars, because I've had so many questions about this, and maybe I'm just a little dense. I don't know. Okay, somebody is telling me, and I won't tell you who, if you buy a hybrid, doesn't matter if it's a Chevy, a Toyota, doesn't matter, it'll take years to recoup your money. How is that possible, and how does that work? Because the trade-off from spending so much money on a hybrid as opposed to what you're going to spend for gas, it'll take time to make that up. How does that work?
Well, it's math. First of all, I mean, you have to decide.
Okay, Bill Clinton.
How much you have to decide how many miles you're going to drive a year, and what's the difference that you're going to save in the gas.
Right.
You know, so you know, the Volt, for instance, is not hybrid; it's electric.
Right.
So, but the hybrids, you know, they're a little bit more money. But now like I know the Toyota hybrids and the Honda hybrids have come down, and so they're more reasonable along with the 4 cylinders.
Right. For those of you at home who didn't get that, during the Democratic National Convention, Bill Clinton stood up there and said, "It's arithmetic. Hello, that's why it works." Anyway, so the hybrids it'll take a while to recoup your money, right? Before you see some payback on
depending
it.
on the person. If you're a high mileage driver, you'll probably recoup it faster.
If I bought a Volt, could I drive from here to LA or here to San Francisco?
Yes.
I could.
Yes.
Without fueling up.
No, everybody gets real confused on the Volt.
Okay,
The Volt,
all right.
if you charge the batteries, you get 40 miles. All right?
So then I gotta stop?
After 40 miles, then
I
there's
got to stop in Merced and recharge?
No, there's an onboard generator that charges the batteries from then on. That is run by fuel.
Oh.
The generator. But the vehicle is still powered by electric, by the battery.
But is it using less fuel to power the generator?
When I tested mine, I was getting 38 miles per gallon when I was using the generator.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
After the initial charge.
Simple arithmetic. That's all it is. Okay. We're back with more of Brett Hedrick and your phone calls, I hope, 559-265-4331. I'm excited. I got goosebumps. I'm a car guy. I love new cars, even though I can't afford most of them. Back in a moment.
Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're the save energy, save time, save money place. The Energy Star qualified #1 rated high efficiency Cabrio from Whirlpool Place. You heard right. Right now, save big on select Whirlpool Cabrio laundry pairs and pay no interest when paid in full within 6 months. At the hometown low price, think outside the big box place. Since 1951, Ventura TV Appliance Center. We're working hard to be your place.
And one of the most popular cars, of course, on the market that will be at the convention center this weekend is the Camaro. We've got the video to show the Camaro. Let's talk about the Camaro. I would love to buy one of these cars. It was my first car that I ever bought. That was back in the Stone Age, in the 1800s. It cost like $5.
Horses pulled it.
Yeah, horses pulled it. That's the
Dodge. Yeah.
That's the Dodge. That's not the Camaro. But talk about the Camaro, because the Camaro's
Same
coming
style.
up here in a minute. Yeah.
Actually, the Camaro has been very well received.
Yeah.
You know, is it
the style, or what is it?
You know what? Chevy's always had a love. People loved Chevys. You know, they always talk about the emotional tide behind a vehicle, and you can remember a Camaro. You know, especially right now that, you know, our generation, we grew up with Camaro.
Okay.
So, you know, it's been one of a real love affair. But this new style and new design that came out, you know, where it looks like a Camaro, but it has all the safety features, all the technology, and crazy stuff like that.
My apologies. We never saw the Camaro in the video.
Okay.
We
talked about
Charger
the Camaro
the whole
and
time.
Charger.
You know, I remember the Dodge Charger. You know, that style of car has changed dramatically from years ago, too.
Sure,
You can talk about that.
The muscle cars. The muscle
Yeah.
cars all
The
kind of...
Mustangs,
they all kind of went away, and even the Mustang went to a, you know, more of a fuel-efficient type car and kind of went away from the sports car, the muscle car, and then that's all kind of coming back now because there is a niche market for that.
So if you put the Charger and, say, the Camaro and the Mustang all in the same category, it's just different styles and preference.
Yeah, it is.
That's all it is, right?
It is. Like I said, car buying is emotional. And, you know, you grew up buying Fords like we talked about before. You grew up, your family was a Ford family, your family is a Chevy family, your family's a Toyota family. It's like the way it is.
Yeah, my father drove that Chevrolet Bel Air station wagon. Oh, my God. No seatbelts. I mean, not back then. No seatbelts.
No, they were an option.
They really were an option. So whose idea was it to put this car show together, Central Valley Car Show, that's really an outstanding event, because you know, you're not pressured to go in and buy anything. Hey, just go in and look.
Right. Back a few years ago, there was a group of us that were talking about having an auto show here in town. And there is actually a Fresno Clovis Car Dealers Association. And we meet about 4 times a year. And this was one of those things that we wanted to do for our community. And actually, you know, and I think it's great that in 8 short years we got it to where it's free admission. So it's really giving back to the community.
Does it help boost car sales in the Central Valley?
Oh, I think it has to. Yeah, and I think it's nice for, you know, because there are those that go to the show that have an interest in looking at a vehicle. And there are those that just want to go and have fun, take the kids. It's raining, it's foggy. You know, we're in Fresno in November. It's going to be raining.
That's right.
So we're going to be inside, having a good time, and you know, you can take the kids. There's magicians. There's a Mr. Robotic. You know, it's a guy with the robotic suit. You know, and there's all kinds of things to do.
And
it's
lots of
free.
kids' activities. It's right here on the sheet. I have it on my sheet here. Kids get in, obviously, for free, along with their parents, and kids can put on smocks and use brushes, pens, stickers, paint, glue, paper, glitter for the Arts and Crafts Activity Center. Kids can also run toy car wheels in paint. Not quite sure what that means, but there's a kid zone on Saturday and Sunday, so it's not just looking. You know, if your son or daughter, they get tired of, you know, going
looking at cars,
looking at cars, going from one to the other, you've got a kid zone.
Yep. Yeah, you have an opportunity to make it a family day.
Right.
You know, and that's what's important.
Right. And you've got snacks, hot dogs, burgers.
And the Pardini's caters a good bit on that snack bar in the convention center.
Yeah. The car industry now, has it come back, do you think, from the so-called recession of 2008?
The way we've seen it happening is it's doing a slow climb.
Okay.
It's not doing no spikes, no, you know, everybody's running out and buying a car. No, and I don't think that'll happen until we get our unemployment figures down around
here. Do you
here.
think it'll take years to come back the way it did, and it'll depend obviously on the economy?
Well, absolutely, it will depend on the economy, and yes, it will take probably years to come back. And I don't think we'll see the spikes that we used to see. because I think people would be too cautious.
Like what? Like, what are you
well,
talking
like
about?
in 05 and 06, we had everything was huge. You know, the real estate was in booming, and of course, if the real estate's booming and people are buying houses, and then all the construction guys are making money, so all the construction guys are buying vehicles. You know, so it was just everything was going crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll see that again. Probably not in our life cycle.
You don't think so? It'll climb. It'll continue to climb on a steady pace.
Yes, because cars wear out, new technology comes out. You know, that's one thing. It's that now cars are going longer now. It's amazing. Most of our trade-ins are over 200,000 miles now.
And you don't have to change the oil as often. I change mine about every 6,000 miles.
Exactly.
And
it's all based on your driving now. So.
Yeah. It used to be, this was the old saying, you know, if you change the oil in your car every 3,000 miles, it'll run forever. Is that still true?
I think it's probably more true now.
With any vehicle?
Yeah. Yeah, any vehicle. Yeah, I'm not just saying Chevy. I'm saying any vehicle. I think their vehicles are made better now than they were 20 years ago.
All right. Can we touch on something politically, just briefly?
I'm not political
Come
at all.
on. All right. There's been a lot of controversy. You know, they say that President Obama, a couple of years ago, he bailed out the auto industry. Did he, in fact, do that? And if he did, was it the right thing to do?
Well, it was Congress that did it. You know,
Right.
so you can't give
But
that.
at the urging of the president.
The urging of the president, he thought it was one of his economic stimuluses that
Right.
he could do.
You think it was the right thing to do?
Because it would have put, I mean, it's hard to say because we didn't get to see what happened the opposite way. You know, as it was, the government has a stake in General Motors and Chrysler now.
That's right.
You know, they have ownership in them. And so did it change things a little bit? Yeah, it changed things quite a bit.
How did it change? What did it change?
I think there's a few more stricter rules and regulations as
Government
far as
standards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's good. It's all good. You know, I mean, it's. I think that who's to know if 400 and 500,000 people were out of a job because of the car industry. And then all those people that make money from the car industry, our vendors and things like that, the ripple effect probably would have been very devastating.
Yeah, there are those on the right who believe that Chrysler and GM should have just flopped, and all those people should have been let go, and let the companies go bankrupt, and they would have come back on their own. But there are those who believe, you know what, the president did the right thing because it's not good for the country to let these companies go.
Well, I think it would have devastated several towns. We don't have a manufacturing facility here, but think about how many people are employed. Midwest, yeah. Some of the towns, that's all they have is they have the factory.
Right.
You know, and it keeps the town alive, and so it would just desecrate towns.
Any good surprises coming up this weekend as far as what's to come in 2013 in the car industry? Any surprises that you can tell us?
You know, I think there's the technology and the different, seeing that each manufacturer is really increasing fuel mileage each year. So I think that's going to be the most exciting thing, to see what the different cars are. I think I don't get around to see other vehicles, and I take this opportunity to look at what my competition is. So it's good to, get out there and check them out.
You don't put a costume on and sneak on the lot at Clausen Honda or perhaps Nissan of Clovis? You don't sneak around and just kind of look at what the competition is doing?
Yeah.
Come on, Brett, fess up.
I don't think my face would hide very well.
At like 1 in the morning? Anyway, the car industry has changed, and I'm just fascinated and very intrigued by the technology. I mean, you get in one of these cars, you don't even need a key. You've got a button. You push a button, and then, I don't know, you can talk on a phone while you're driving. It's like, where's the phone? It's up. Where's the speaker? It's up here. It's down there, or whatever.
Or a backup camera.
Or a backup camera.
Yeah.
Oh, those backup cameras are incredible.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like watching a monitor.
There's probably more backup cameras in our vehicles than not.
Which ones have the backup?
Most of them. Most of them, even
The
the small
Volt?
cars. The Volt does.
Really?
The Malibu, the Cruise, all the small cars, and of course the big cars, the big SUVs, the trucks.
Yeah.
Everything.
You know what's really scary? My son is 11. He's already talking about driving.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to drive now. He wants to drive now.
Wait till he gets 15. That's what I have right now.
I don't know if my heart will be able to take it. Brett Hedrick, good luck this weekend.
All right.
Convention Center.
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right. Thursday night's auto show preview.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for us today. Glad you phoned in. Those who did phone in, and lots of fun at the Convention Center this coming weekend at the Central California Auto Show. Back tomorrow. See you then.